let's recap. I set the enemy growth rates to 50% to make the game harder, beat Lin mode with a motley crew of 3 units, and now I'm moving on to Hector hard mode. Okay, all caught up. I felt confident heading into Hector mode. Hector was a cool dark mage with a perf tome called Winter Abyss, which is badass as fuck. Unfortunately, he fucking sucked. With only 2 speed, he gets doubled and killed by every Pegasus Knight on the map, and the boss. Eric soldiers 2-round him, and since he doesn't have any healing items, what does it even matter that they 2-round him? Since I elected not to use Matthew in Lin mode, his stats were not much better. He could tank the weaker Pegasus Knight, but stood no chance on the stronger one. I tried to sneak around this top path to avoid the enemies below altogether, but the thief actually opens the door for all his friends, meaning that I was cornered and murdered by the horde of enemies that apparently chased you around the map. Seriously, have you ever seen enemies chase you around a map in Fire Emblem? Like, ever? They don't... What? Why? Who did that? So, how did I turn these impossible odds into my favor? By fucking cheating. I cheated in a vulnerary and stood in this doorway, slowly killing all of the enemies. Since, as I mentioned, Hector does get 2-round, the healing item allowed him to survive barely. And I still died a few times doing that. Finally free and moving on to a new level. I got a ton of new recruits, only to realize, hey, this level isn't any easier. Almost all these new units died within the first few turns. Even Marcus! He reclassed into a lord and is now weak to the multiple heavy springs that the enemies just so happened to decide to bring. Yeah, doesn't feel very random to me. It felt a little targeted, actually. But I suppose randomization programs should act like that every once in a while, right? That's how statistics work. Even Dorcas, the star of Lin mode, could only 2-round most enemies. And don't even get me fucking started on Armor Elaywood. He is an actual liability on the battlefield, and actively makes the game harder if I try using him. I'd like to say I came up with a brilliant strategy to beat this level, but at least I didn't cheat this time. I honestly just sacrificed most of my units to keep Hector alive and managed to get lucky with dodges. They survived just long enough that I could actually whittle some of the people down and regroup Hector and Elaywood's troops together. And hey, surviving long enough to sacrifice at the right moment is sometimes all you can really do. Moving on to the Guy level. I can't recruit Guy, since Matthew is dead. Also, Matthew died with the guiding ring, which I should have realized before now, but I didn't realize until I was missing it later. Trying to get to the southern village in this level was impossible due to the Draco Knights. I used Marcus to get to the Merlinus village for the bonus level, even though I knew that bonus level would be tormenting. I used the ruins of the once vibrant southern village as a staging point, since apparently ruins give a defensive bonus in this game. Elaywood died about 15 times, but I managed to get him a little bit of XP here, which is good, since we have to drag his ass through the rest of the game. He even managed to have a single point of speed. The Fog of Lore level with Merlinus was especially awful and made me regret getting the bonus level anyways. I had to rescue Merlinus and drop him elsewhere, but I discovered that there are flying units in every corner of the map. This meant my entire starting position on this little tiny island was covered by flying units. If I held onto Merlinus, they killed Elaywood or Sarah instead. Eventually, I made it past turn 1 by having Sarah rescue Merlinus and hide on this exact tile, because the enemy who attacked her from there used a javelin, which meant that he couldn't actually kill her just yet. But if he had a stronger weapon, I'd have been soft-locked for sure, so isn't that fun? Marcus wasn't strong enough to solo his way to the village, which meant giving up on even more valuable items. Equipment-wise, my team was rather fucked. Osmond joined him with a brave axe, which is cool and all, but that axe actually does less damage than the steel axe due to randomization. Marcus had the wolf bale, which was a good weapon, if Marcus had good stats. Other than that, we had nothing of value. Marcus was already starting to not be as good as he once was. Our only promotion item was an earth seal dropped by a random enemy, which I can't use because I can't be sure what other promotion items I'll even get. And since the earth seal is a wild card of promotion items, I can't afford to waste it yet before I know who else I'm going to be able to promote. I entered chapter 14 feeling emotionally drained, and knowing that this level is usually one of the hardest in a normal run for me. And boy was it. These 4 enemies literally spawned behind me on turn 1, and I can't even kill them without getting lucky dodges. I was once again on a level where half of my attempts ended on turn 1. Urk wasn't surviving more than a couple turns, and didn't even have the decency to try to fight back before they slaughtered him. I was forced to hole up in the top right corner, which meant I was giving up Priscilla and whatever items were in both villages. Except, hiding in the corner wasn't working either, because, oh no, my heal staff broke. I currently have 0 gold, by the way. With no way of healing my units each turn, I had to start playing more aggressively and actually kill some of these fuckers. Thanks to 2 very lucky dodges against this archer, I managed to clear all the enemies out, with most of my units having almost no health. We got 2 red gems from the enemies on this level, meaning we could finally buy weapons for people and a new heal staff. I forgot this defense level existed, as it's usually pretty non-eventful. But I don't have a thief, meaning I miss more chests here, so I guess I don't need items anyways. Who needs items? I also barely had enough units to cover each path to the throne. And it wasn't like Eli Wood and Osmond were really pulling their weight. And Sarah couldn't be everywhere at once to heal, even though everyone needed healing every single turn. So this level took me for fucking ever to beat too. I only beat it by purposely allowing Sarah to take a hit and getting real lucky with an enemy devil axe. Finally, we were able to rejoin Lynn and Kent. Pegasus Knight Lynn is amazing compared to the other 2 shit stains we're calling lords. And I was even able to save the villages in this level. Hooray! For once the peasants aren't dying and can show me their appreciation by giving me things. This felt like a turning point. Eli Wood got a hold of an axe reaver and was able to actually start acting like the armor knight he technically is. Having Kent around meant some much needed extra ranged chip damage on a team that's really lacking ranged options. Dorcas and Oswin were really starting to shape up and could reliably mop up most of the enemies after Kent and Hector damaged them. And I got to kill off Sane for the 3rd time! It never gets old! I made it through hell to get here, and it finally felt like I had a chance at turning things around. The gang was all together. Nothing could stand in our way. Just, there's one thing I sort of regret. After all we went through, I obviously couldn't recruit Priscilla, and now I'll miss out on both Lucius and Raven because of it. Raven is usually one of the more powerful units in this game. And I wasn't sure if I'd even be able to win without... Oh, never mind, he fucking sucks. Alright, I have no regrets. Hey, you, watching this video. Would you rather watch a video with boobs on the screen? Of course you would. If you subscribe to the channel, you can help me afford HRT and grow my own pair of boobies. It costs you nothing and will increase your enjoyment of my videos tenfold. So hit that subscribe button. It'll make you happy.